Excellent timing. Raz, can you hear us in the studio?
Yep.
All right, excellent. So, yeah, you're at Abandoned Ward as one of our Colonial correspondents. Where exactly are you in Abandoned Ward?
Currently just on the northern side of Sunhaven here, right near the Pommel Annex. There's a lot of heavy fighting going on. There were two trench systems that the opposing sides were using, but they've been pushed into the town.
Into the town of the Plaza itself, or all the way back to Abandoned
into
Ward?
the Plaza. They're currently in the Plaza. Collies have an upper hand. Wardens are coming from the eastern area.
I see. And we heard a little bit of the report earlier from our reporter Liam over there, but that was from the Warden perspective. Last we heard, the Colonials had pushed the Wardens out of the Plaza. From what you're saying, it sounds like the Wardens are moving back in.
Yeah, they're trying. They were coming from Pommel Annex and from Callahan's Boot into a small bunker area. So supply of shirts ran low, and they were able to move in. And it appears they're trying to push from the north a little bit into the plaza, but that's been repulsed, and it's mostly just fighting on the eastern area, near the barns and such. Fields are a hotspot for activity.
I see. Yeah, and on the east side of the plaza there are a couple barns kind of wedged in between different houses and the rock faces that are in that area. It's very tight corridors in there.
Yeah, currently the fighting's happening south of the plaza, or the Pommel Annex. Most people seem to be running, or they're trying to push for Callahan's Boot.
What have a cool looking uniform, what the fuck?
I see. Is it a concerted effort with large support from different regiments, or is this more of...
Mostly what I'm seeing is, I've seen a few D-boys, but they don't seem to be coordinating. It's mostly lower ranking Colonials and some without any ranks. As for Wardens, I've not been able to talk with any, as they've been pretty shoot on sight.
Understood, and that's... I think both sides are fairly likely if they see someone on the opposing faction. Even if it is a press member, they'll take a pot shot.
Yep, just had one fired at me. Running away.
Yeah, stay safe, that's high priority. So as the push has been happening there at the plaza, there's also been a push on the south side into the pits. That's what I've heard. Do you have any info going on over there?
Currently I've not heard anything coming out of the pits. I've heard of some guys going down there just to make sure everything's okay, but most of the action seems to be up near north.
Alright, I see. And one of the last time we were in this area covering the Abandoned Ward fight, the Colonials were moving up towards the Iron's End, but it sounds like, from what you're sharing, a lot of this is in between Abandoned Ward and Callahan's Boot. Iron's End is kind of not a picture, or not in the picture.
Yeah, I've not seen anyone up near there. It's mostly been this eastern edge of the plaza near the south of Pommel Annex. That's the only action I've been seeing.
No, there is no one.
Excellent. Understood. Last question for you. Is this a rather large fight? Because we're seeing large fights around the other regions, and while Abandoned Ward is normally a very, very large hotbed for activity, is it this time? Or is it not?
At the moment, I've just seen a whole squad of collies pass me. It seems more people are moving up. It's kind of sporadic because all the forces are spread out amongst like the northeastern part of the plaza and the annex. Some people are pushing for the edge of Callahan's Boot where that trench network is. Some are trying to push north. It's kind of just a spread out fight.
I see.
It does seem to be moving more northwards now, back into the trench system from what I'm seeing.
I see. As they can't move through the buildings, they're going to try through more of the fields up towards the north.
Yeah.
Alright, I see. These points are... these fights are going to ebb and flow, and they're going to change as the days go on. Right now, Abandoned Ward doesn't seem to be the major focus of any of the big regiments. But now with fights like Tomb of the First and Husk Hollow resolving, we might see, that might be part of the squad that was mentioned earlier. We might see some of that move back towards Abandoned Ward. Is there anything else you have up on the...
I've heard interesting reports from Tomb of the First, but nothing more other than it just keeps swapping hands.
I see. Yeah, it seemed like the Wardens were holding on to that for a long time, but the specifics, like all we get is the specifics about who owns a territory and where people are statically. We don't hear as much about like the minute-to-minute momentum as it goes back and forth.
Yeah. Colonials seem to be pushing back more towards Pommel Annex. Most of them are pushing back for the trenches. A widely warden-held trench from earlier is being stormed by about 5 Colonials. I'm taking fire.
Oh, keep yourself safe.
It's better than last time when I got shot in the back.
You pressed. That explains the uniform, aye.
I'm seeing
Safety
a
is
few
absolutely
wardens
first.
push out from the north. They seem to be trying to support. Snipers on the rocks. Besides that, I'm seeing
Sniper
more and
rifles
more
already.
Colonials. Well, more marksmen than snipers.
I see.
Higher fire rates, but I'm seeing trucks ferrying people in, so it seems a more larger Colonial force is starting to move its way in here, most likely the pits.
I see. So it sounds like that fight could be changing in the next several minutes, in the next hour, as more focus gets moved over there. I'm hearing random, just small chatter as I'm tuning into some of the intel chats here. I don't exactly want to share it out loud, but there is no shortage of activity. It's just less people in the area. So as we've kind of noted earlier with that, as you start moving out into open areas, as there are less individual people in that area, everyone's individual actions start becoming more important to how to determining the outcome of that particular fight.
Not too long ago, I was up near Marvin Hollow, and I know Colonials were originally holding a fob, got it taken away, and then it became more of a stalemate due to a lack of soldier supplies on both sides.
I see. And well, I'll check back in on that Maiden's Veil fight in just a minute. I just want to make sure that we've heard everything out of here. But it sounds like it's between the lack of logistics at Pommel Annex, the lack of people, and the lack of regimental support. Doesn't seem to be pushing either way. Maybe some like back and forth, but still pretty stalled at Pommel Annex. It
does look like at the moment with the amount of people pouring in that Colonials might be able to get an upper hand just on the numbers advantage. And I'm seeing a few more trucks making their way into coming into the town hall area of Sunhaven. I've just found a large collection of Colonials waiting to be ferried in by truck. So it seems like the numbers here are steadily increasing.
I see. And a very important fight that will be going forward. For those who might not have been around a while, Sunhaven was the old name for Abandoned Ward since this war began long ago. It has since changed names, but many of the old guards still know it as Sunhaven. We'll see that fight as it progresses in the next couple days and hours. Thank you very much, Raz. We don't want to give away too many specifics, if you will. We're not here as an intel group for one side or another. We just want to report on like how things are going, and that is a pretty clear picture. We'll see how that turns out in the next couple hours. Is there anything else you have for us up there?
Nothing much. It just seems Colonials are steadily mounting more of an offensive, and it seems that the Wardens are slowly getting pushed back into their own trenches.
The Warden defensive line there,
yeah,
likely ready to absorb any kind of pressure.
Fuck! I got him.
Excellent. Thank you very much for all that. We haven't heard too much from Deadlands, specifically because the focus has been on all of the outlying regions. Glad to hear a little bit of perspective coming from there. Oh, I'm sorry, one last question. Is that rainstorm still in effect over there at the Pommel Annex Plaza Abandoned Ward area?
As far as I'm seeing, the ground's still muddy and wet. Sky's looking a bit cloudy.
Indeed. Yeah, we're not quite sure when that weather, that severe storm, is going to end. Everyone stay safe while you're out there, drive safe, and take care of yourselves. Raz, thank you very much.
Roger. Just doing my job.
On the subject of that severe storm warning, this will be A little bit of an update for those who did not hear earlier. There is a severe storm warning, which is our highest level of weather report, if you will. We've developed a more organic system, if you will. We have a severe storm watch for light storms, a severe storm advisory, and that can escalate into a severe storm warning, letting you all, the listeners, know that there is a warning that excessive rain is in the area. That rain will result in large muddy areas that will encumber just with the sheer amount of mud that's there as the soldiers walk around in those dirty, muddy areas. One of the biggest bits of advice that we've heard given from soldier to soldier is to walk lightly, is to not bring as many supplies as you are used to. And that, of course, is going to feel maybe a little uncomfortable, where you might want to take X many clips of ammo, you got to take a few less, and you feel a little less unprepared, or a little less prepared. That's part of the adaptations of war, as far as we have heard from soldiers. On top of that, winds will have a strong effect on indirect fire. We won't see that come into effect in the next couple days, but as artillery starts becoming more common in the following weeks, we'll see how these strong storms affect the artillery. Be on the lookout for, as I said, there's mud patches, that severe wind. As this rainstorm is reaching its peak, we do not know when it is going to end. The severe storm warning itself is being issued for the following regions: Deadlands, in all subregions except for Callahan's Gate. In the Lynn of Mercy, we are seeing it in Outwitch Ranch, Fort Duncan, and Prairie Bazaar, as well as small reports coming across the river at First Coin and the Last Grove. In Lockmore, severe storm warning as far west as Fearmore, and maybe even Mercy's Wish. We are seeing the effects in Moon's Copse and Westmarch as well. Down in Umbra Wildwood, that warning extends as far south as the Foundry, Vagrant Bastion, and the Stray. And there was a warning for Drowned Vale that has been reduced to a severe storm watch. It is only light drizzling in that area. We are not seeing the effects of that strong storm any further. As you're in the strong storm, be careful that your intelligence watchtowers, we have heard that those are affected, as well as other forms of communication. That's it for the weather, and I believe that is it for PressCorps. Jeffrey, did you want to close us out? Do you have anything else to add for reporting for the beginning of this conflict?
Not so much. You were very comprehensive in pretty much the past 4 hours. So I will just say that thank you, of course, to our wonderful Corps of reporters, a small sliver that you've seen so far, and we'll see how I hope we can get to even more of our wonderful members of the Corps throughout this war, and certainly for many wars to come. Not to celebrate that war, we'll see a lot more war, but let's be honest, there's probably going to be a lot more of them, considering just how much these two countries like to duke it out so often. But regardless, I definitely want to end by saying thank you to all of our listeners, even if you listen just for a single report for just a minute. Thank you for giving us your time and all the effort you put into just even stopping by and saying, well, in fact, we've even got some people who kind of want to get in now at the moment. But we're actually going to take a break, and we're going to actually, I think Everett's going to end his anchoring for today at least, and maybe we'll get to some more in the next several hours. But for now, we're going to go to the music. And you know what, Everett, I'll let you sign us off for now.
Excellent. Yeah, thank you very much. If you are looking to contribute to the PressCorps, or at least share your stories with us, we do have a newswire by which we publish viewer submissions, soldier submissions, and the things. You can check all of the details on how to contact us here at the radio. You'll hear it as our sign-off broadcast, but otherwise, come find us at the PressCorps World headquarters. You can find our submissions page from there. We'd love to hear more of your stories, and if you're interested in becoming a PressCorps reporter, contact any reporter or any of the administrators here at PressCorps World Headquarters. We'll be happy to talk with you. For now, though, this is PressCorps Everett Way signing off. at the beginning of Conflict 71 in this Valley Masan War. Good night, and everyone, have a good fight.